are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar on how to slow down the signs of aging. Before we begin, we've got a small little poll for you to answer, and so that we know how we can make this webinar a little bit more interesting for you guys. So the poll has been launched. Please, let's just take about a few seconds to answer this. And we are closing the poll. So it looks like everyone is interested in all three topics. What causes aging? How can I prevent aging? And how do I know if my biological age matches my chronological age? So I think Natalie has a very interesting answer to the last one. And without further ado, I'll turn the presentation over to Natalie. So Natalie is from
Great.
Energize Life, and yes, she's now turning into an expert of aging.
Okay. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Can you see my screen, Melissa?
Yes, I can.
Great. Okay, well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight to talk about or to listen to a presentation around aging, a topic that's become very interesting and important to me over the last few years. And what I'm going to do this evening is I'll tell you a little bit, first of all, about myself, and then I'll tell you what we're going to actually cover. And it will cover all three aspects of the poll. So my background is actually in strategic marketing and innovation, and I'm the founder of an innovation consultancy practice called the NPO Network, which I founded in London back in 2006 and brought to Singapore in 2010. So I have been working here in Asia ever since. I'm also the director of a retreat experience for women called Women Who Lead, and I take women on retreat to beautiful places like Bali, where they can reevaluate their career and where they're going in life. I'm very, very passionate about wellness and healthy aging, and out of that I founded a lifestyle brand called Energize Life. And really what we focus on is to raise awareness of the new science of aging, and we act as an independent distributor for products from a company called Ageless Global, who actually focus on bringing very, very advanced technologies to market. So what are we going to look at this evening? I'm going to take you through a brief overview of the aging process, what it is and how it works in our bodies. We're going to focus particularly on something called a telomere. You may or may not have come across telomeres. I hadn't come across them 18 months ago when I started getting very interested in aging. But they are absolutely critical to our whole process of what's going on inside our cells. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We'll focus a little bit on skin aging, because obviously our skin is that which is visible to ourselves when we look in the mirror in the morning, but also to other people, and acts as a mirror to ourselves in terms of actually seeing our aging process right in front of us, staring back out of the mirror. So I'm going to give you a few tips on helping to slow down the aging process. There are things we can do. We're not completely beholden to aging as a natural process, but there are things that we can do, particularly within our lifestyle. There are also new technological breakthroughs that can help us as well, not only to slow down the aging process, but to really help us be healthy. And health is one of those subjects that is obviously fundamentally important. We can have all the money in the world and be unhealthy. We can be old and be unhealthy. And what we want to do is to make sure that we're living vibrant, energetic, and enthused lives full of vitality and health, no matter how many years we have in terms of the years that we've been alive on the earth. And then a little time for any questions or discussions at the end. Okay, so what causes aging? Well, lots of things. We can see in the middle here, this is our DNA. Our DNA is, we have, trillions of cells in our body, and our cells are under attack all day long. They're under attack from what we eat. If we're not eating a very good, healthy lifestyle, they're under attack if we don't exercise our bodies and keep ourselves mobile and agile. They're under attack from all the environmental pollutants, both in the ground in terms of, even when we try to eat well, a lot of our food lacks the nutrients that we really need, but also in the air that we breathe. Just reading today that the haze is coming back to Southeast Asia. It's not good. It's not good for us, breathing in this air, and there's very little sometimes what we feel that we can do about that. But so we're under constant attack in terms of our whole system, our whole being, and this obviously starts to accelerate aging at a cellular level. So when we think about our cells, here on the left you can see one cell. As the cell starts to duplicate, you can see it's moving apart and creating two cells. So as we age, what happens is our cells keep replicating themselves. But there's a limited amount of times that this can actually happen before the cells die. And it's obviously when cells start to die, they start to throw out free radicals into our body system, which can start to cause a lot of the diseases of aging, of which we are familiar with. So really, aging is very much a cellular activity, not just a chronological activity. It's not about how many birthdays you've had, that is how old you are. In fact, new science is now telling us that you could actually be younger or even older than the years that you have been alive on the earth. And actually, it is more to do with your cellular health that is important. I said a moment ago about telomeres. This is just a little fun cartoon. So when you are born, if you look at the little happy cell on the left, you can see that he has these little red socks and red little hats type thing. These are basically telomeres. The telomere protects our chromosomes. It protects our DNA from damage. So when we're having all this onslaught of stuff that's happening to us, or we're doing to ourselves, basically the telomere protects our DNA and our chromosomes from damage. Now, what happens is, as we start to get older, or as our cells start to continue to duplicate and replicate themselves, we become like the little cartoon figure on the right. You can see there, his little socks and hats are really disappearing. So the telomere starts to shorten. And this is a really critical function in the aging process. Lots and lots and lots of research is now being done that links short telomeres in the human body to different forms of disease associated with aging, even to things like cancer. So the telomere is an absolutely critical part of our cellular system, and we want to make sure we have the healthiest telomeres possible in order for our health, whatever age we are, but particularly as you start to get into your mid to late 30s, early 40s, that is when it becomes even more critical in terms of your telomere health. Now, very interestingly, back in 2009, Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, you can see her here, she and her colleagues discovered an enzyme called Telomerase. And Telomerase actually can activate the telomere and start to grow the telomere again. So it's the first time in human history where we have started to make breakthroughs in science, scientific discovery about reversing aging at the cellular level in the body. So this is a new science. This is a very exciting new science. Just as science has had breakthroughs in medicine to cure different types of illnesses, what we're starting to see now is actually there are breakthroughs that are happening that are actually going to reverse aging in the human body itself. So this is a nascent new science and very, very, very exciting field of discovery. Now, a lot of people say, well, aging is just a natural process. You know, we all grow up and then we get old and then we die. And, you know, in a sense, it is that sort of natural process. But what is very interesting to think about is back in the 1940s, so not that long ago, do you know what the average length, the human length of time it was for age before you died? Well, it was 45 years old, and that was in 1940. So what we're now seeing is that by 2020, the average age of people around will be 85 years old. So we're seeing over time that there has been an increase in our longevity, and scientists are saying now that, you know, human beings will be living to 130 plus. You know, even maybe in our lifetime we will start to see this. So when we say aging is a natural process, it is a natural process, but it is also about how we age. We don't want to be 70 or 80 years old and be bedridden and full of diseases. You know, we want to be full of life, full of vitality, whatever the age is as we do grow chronologically older. So, what are some of these diseases?
I definitely agree with you. Sorry, Natalie.
Yeah.
I can't imagine living up to 130 and then being bedridden. No.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really interesting because when we think about all these onslaughts to our body system, what is happening in our cells is what we call inflammation. Inflammation is when our cells become you know, disrupted, disturbed, where they're under attack from all these things, from whether it's the lack of nutrients in our food or from the environment around us. So all these diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular, strokes, Alzheimer's, arthritis, autoimmune diseases, even cancers are cellular-based diseases. So these are things that people are concerned about as they get older. And actually, not all of these are associated with chronological age. So it is to do with the cells coming under attack. So the important thing is, how do we actually start to really protect our body? Now, I want to just look at skin briefly, because obviously, you know, when we do look in the mirror, we see our face staring back out at us, and you know, as the years go by, more wrinkles start to occur. And it was interesting, I was reading not long ago about, it was in a magazine, it was one of these sort of women's magazines that you read at the hairdresser, and it was a young woman writing in. She was only in her mid-20s, she was an Asian woman, and she was writing in really saying that she had a real problem with wrinkles. So actually wrinkling in itself is not necessarily just associated with age either. So, you know, we're not just sort of looking at these things as chronological aspects in terms of how many years we've been on the earth. Now, when we look at the skin, you can see here younger skin, where it's got a very good dermis, and the epidermis is very, very, you know, few wrinkles here. And then you can see on the right just how the skin is starting to lose that elasticity, lose that collagen, lose the firmness, the texture that we do associate normally with younger people's skin. And you can see the grooves in the skin which cause, you know, which then becomes wrinkles. So this is also, a lot of people are quite concerned about their looks and how they look, And they want to look good. They want to look good. They want to feel confident as they walk around the world, as they meet people, as they have relationships with others. They do want to look good. So this isn't necessarily just about, being vain. It's about wanting to feel the best and look the best that we can. So what are some of the tips then that we can look at in terms of how we can start to slow down the aging process? So first of all, I'm going to take you through 5 tips, and then I'm going to look at some of the technologies that you can also use to help advance your cellular health. So first of all, the first tip is really have a good look at what you're eating. We know really generally what foods are good for us and what foods are not good for us, but there are particular foods that are very good anti-aging foods, and here are just a number of them. Pomegranates, lemongrass, cinnamon, noni fruits, oregano, coconut, cucumber, berries, avocado. Some of the doctors that are specialists in skin health also say we should be eating very, very rich omega-3, omega-6 diets. So lots of nice fish or fish oil. One particular doctor I was reading saying, eat lots of salmon for breakfast, fresh salmon, because salmon is one of the best fishes that you can have that has very high omega-3, omega-6. So really take a good look at what you're eating. One of the supplements that I've started using recently is also bee pollen. Bee pollen also has very good anti-aging activators. So I put that on top of my yogurt, on top of fruit in the morning. So it is hard to change our diets, and a lot of food that we do eat, on the go, or whether we're just dashing through the day, start to really look at it and start to think of it from your cellular health perspective. What can you change in your diet to start to really help to boost your cellular health? 2, the big enemy that causes glycation within the body, which also impacts and makes aging happen, is sugar. And sugar is in everything. When you start to look at sugar and look on the back of packages of things that you might buy in the supermarket, most packaged goods have some sort of sugar within them. So if you're taking sugar in drinks, so you're drinking sugared drinks like Coca-Cola or Fanta or all of these diet, or even non-diet drinks. Diet drinks also have, they're not that great either. So try to stay away from anything that has sugar in it, or at least try and reduce it. It will be very, very hard to do because you will find that it's in nearly everything, in cakes, in sweets, in things that you don't even think would have sugar. So start to really read your labels and think and find out what has the sugar ingredients, and particularly white sugar, which is even worse. 3, the sunshine. Now, while sunshine is absolutely critical to our health for vitamin D, and we need to be out in it at least 15 minutes a day to get good rays, not right in the midday sun. We don't want to be lying out in it. I can remember as a young adult, I used to lie out in the sun to get tanned, and I would fry my body. This is one of the worst things that you can do for lots of reasons. Obviously, we do know now it's associated with skin cancers, but also for wrinkling of the skin. The sun is the worst thing to have on your face. So when you're outside, out and about, try and keep out of the sun. If you're on holiday, wear a hat and make sure you have big sunglasses that are covering your eyes. The skin around your eyes is very, very delicate. And so you want to really protect that in particular, because that is normally the area that starts to wrinkle first.
Natalie, I watched a BBC documentary, and they said that if you just walked out in the sun for even 15 minutes without any sunblock on you, it's considered a 1-degree burn. So so the tip and the advice that doctors say is please go out with sunblock, even if you are just walking for 15 minutes out in the sun. It's amazing how much damage the sun can do to your skin in just 15 minutes. And the interesting thing when it goes back to diet again, because in the same documentary, they made some, I think 30 people eat a lot of tomatoes because tomatoes contain this antioxidant called
Mm.
lutein or something like that. I can't remember the exact antioxidant, and it proved to improve the skin's protection by 30%. So load
Wow.
up,
Next
yep,
up, good to eat a lot of tomatoes then.
yep, load up on tomatoes and sunblock.
And I was also reading in a study that Singapore apparently has really high vitamin D deficiency. So I actually supplement vitamin D. I take 2,000 milligrams a day or whatever it is in those, in life extension supplements. So, and I actually track it in my blood to make sure my vitamin D levels are high, because vitamin D is important, very, very important for the body anyway, for the brain in particular. And if you're not getting it through the sunshine because of the, what we've just talked about too, then you do need to make sure you've got good vitamin D levels in your blood. Right, the fourth one, water. We know that our body is predominantly made up of water. And we're also living, for us here over in Asia anyway, in a hot climate. And it's very easy to just go throughout the day without enough water intake. But we really do need to be drinking 2.5 litres a day of water, purified distilled water, not just water out the tap, and not other drinks, things like teas and coffees. They do not count as your as part of that, the pure water intake that you need to be taking. Your cells need water, your brain needs water. So uptake your water intake to help to protect your cells from aging. Then the last one, there are many more tips, but we're just focusing really on 5 tonight. The last one is to have a very good skin care regime. It is important that we moisturize the skin, that we keep our skin supple, and that we cleanse the skin of all the debris from the day, before we go to bed. It is important to have a skin regime. It's not just a vanity type thing. The skin is the largest organ of your body, and your face obviously is getting a lot of onslaught all day long from the environmental toxins and pollutions in the air. So you really want to make sure you have a very good skincare regime. Now, on that note, what we're going to do now is just have a look quickly at a few technologies that are new on the market, and ones that I've got very excited about and using to help slow down my own aging process. Now, before I talk about that, let's just have a look at this whole market trend around anti-aging. And I prefer the word healthy aging rather than anti-aging, but the whole market of healthy aging is booming. You can see here, 2015, 300 billion. By 2025, it's going to be over 1 trillion, the market for products, that people are spending money, they're concerned about their health. The boomer generation, those born in the 50s and 60s predominantly, are fueling this as they have more disposable income and they're aging, to make sure that they can age the best way they can. So the new technologies that are starting to come to market are quite exciting within this whole market trend. And the first one I want to talk about is to do with skincare. And it was designed by a doctor, Dr. Nathan Newman. He's known as the surgeon for the stars. He's from Los Angeles in California, from Beverly Hills, and he's a dermatologist. And he is one of the world leaders in stem cell technology formulation. Now, stem cells is another huge area that we could talk about, but stem cells is radically changing medicine right now. And I know there's been a number of different conferences in Singapore on stem cell, with stem cell scientists coming in. And I've been working with A-Star in Singapore with some of the stem cell scientists there. You know, stem cell is like this next, a new frontier of research. And this particular doctor is known for his advanced cosmetic surgery, something he's called the stem cell lift. So if you Google him, you can find him on online. And he's basically what he found when he was doing a lot of these stem cell lifts, so really reconstructing people's faces for either those that had suffered cancers or those that are having some sort of reconstructive surgery. He found that the skin around these injections would start to rapidly heal. So what he did was actually invented a serum. It's like a super serum, really, which contains growth factors from adult human stem cells, from the fat tissue of adult human beings. And not the actual stem cells themselves, but the technology of how the skin replenishes and heals itself. So it's like the chemical language, if you like, and these are called growth factors. And what he has done is he has bottled this and created a whole line of skincare called Luminous. And Luminous is made up of a cleanser, a serum, a day moisturizer, night moisturizer, body renewal, and a mask. So you've got the whole piece that you need to make sure your skin is going to look the best that it can, with really, really advanced technology. Now, one of the good things about the moisturizing complex is it also contains factor 30, so that protects your skin from the sun, so you can be confident when you're walking around in the daytime that your skin, particularly on your face, isn't going to age and burn. Now, what's really amazing about this product line, and this is a lady, she's 65 years old, she put the serum on one half of her face, on the left, and not on the right. Now, you can see, with a lot of skincare products on the market, what they're doing is very surface level replenishment. But what this particular line of products is doing is actually rebuilding the collagen, the elasticity, the firmness of the skin itself down into the cellular level. So you can see that picture of what her skin looks like inside, and this was done by an independent dermatologist to actually have a look at what was going on inside below the skin's surface. So you can see on the left very clean and clear, and on the right very red and very blotchy, and lots of little dots there. So this is really penetrating deep into the cellular membranes. What has been really good with this particular skincare is that it reduces all sorts of things, not just wrinkles and signs of aging, but also things like spots and rosacea, which it wasn't really designed to do that, but because it is using adult stem cell technology, it's very, very powerful. This particular one, bit of a shock to the system to see this, but this was a young man in China who actually had a very bad motorbike accident, and you can see it looks like he's actually had reconstructive surgery, but actually all he has used is the serum, and this was shared with Melissa and I yesterday by somebody else in our team. So quite an amazing testimony, really, of the power of this product to really rebuild the skin surface. Now, so that's the skincare range, the technology. We're going to, Melissa, did you want to show quickly this little video?
Sure. Okay.
We'll show the video, and then I'll tell you a little bit about this. You might have come across this because it's been highly viral, going around the world. So I'll change. Oh, you've changed to you?
Yes, I've changed to me. So okay. Can you see my screen right now?
No.
Can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna show this full screen and let's play.
I can't see anything, Melissa.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it now. No sound.
Oh, okay. Let me pause it for a bit. Let me rewind a little bit. Just give me 1 second while I figure out how to do this whole thing. I'm going to play it right now.
Hi there, Becky Hurley from British Columbia, and I just wanted to give you a quick demo on our new Instantly Ageless. This is a product that we just released a couple of weeks ago, and I'm so excited about it. So it comes in little vials. It actually comes in a full box, beautiful box, just like this. And in that, you get 25 vials. Each one of these vials will last you anywhere from 3 to 5 applications, depending on how much you're using it and where you're putting it. But really, the key is to use just a little bit. So you can see there, I've just got a little bit on my finger. And this will literally, within the next couple of minutes, diminish about 10 years off of the look of my eyes. So I'm going to just take that little bit and like I said, less is more, and you just want to dab it and spread it to get a nice thin, even layer, and make sure that you are leaving it wet, because it's while it's drying that the magic happens. You might be asking, well, what is it? What's in this to make it work the way that that you'll see that it's going to? It's a really simple formulation, actually, but they've done it exactly right, so it works perfectly. And it's about 92% water. There are 2 different minerals, and then a peptide called arginine, which if you look that up, you'll see that they're calling it Botox in a bottle. And just while it's drying, you will see that it will shrink the bag and the discoloration. And it's just an amazing product. I was in Vegas last week, and if you've ever been to Vegas before, you know you don't get a whole lot of sleep, and it's quite smoky there. And my eyes, I was waking up with big bags under my eyes, and this was a lifesaver for me. So we're just having so much fun promoting this product. Janesse literally cannot keep it on the shelves. It's going out the doors so very quickly. So you can see here, starting to work. I'm just fanning it to get it to activate a little bit quicker, just for time sensitivity. But gosh, we're having so much fun promoting this. If this is a product that you want to get your hands on, be sure to get back in touch with the person that sent you this. You probably are receiving this on social media. And it's an amazing product. So you can see bag, 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 and no bags, literally at least 10 years off of the look of my eyes here. So I'm going to go out. I've been running around town, one eye done and the other one not, just to show people the great effects of this. So Instantly Ageless by Janesse. Get some today.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you to Becky too.
Yeah, thank you to Becky Hurley, who's made herself a millionaire, I think, but just by that YouTube alone. It's had so many hits. But what's interesting about this particular product is that it can last for up to 8 to 10 hours. So you can have it, you know, all day long, or you can replenish it throughout the day if it starts to wane a little bit. But it really is quite amazing in terms of, let me just share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Should come up soon. Yeah?
Not yet. Yes, now it's showing up. To the attendees, if you have any questions, just feel free to type it out in the questions box, and we'll just answer any questions along the way.
Okay, so yes, it's got this, basically, it freezes the muscles around the eye, and not just the eye. I mean, I've seen amazing things that people have done with this little product. Like if people have really bad creases in their skin, whether it's on their forehead or in their cheeks and things like that, it can tighten that up as well. But it really freezes the muscles. It's called the snare complex around the eye. And they're saying now that it has about a 30% permanency effect with use. So it's really has been selling very, very fast, this product around the world. Okay, 2 other technologies just to share with you before we end. We talked a lot earlier just about inflammation in the cells and the importance of what we eat. One of the products I've been using is called Reserve, and Melissa, I believe you're using it now as well, aren't you? But this is quite an amazing product because within it's full of antioxidants, and antioxidants are what fight free radical damage within our cells and actually start to boost cellular health and actually maintain our cells and keep them healthy, keep them strong. So it has all these wonderful ingredients packed into this little gel that you can take in the morning. And what this gel does is it goes straight into your bloodstream, goes straight into your cells. It's been shown, independently tested, that it can go through the cellular membrane. So we know that it actually is really, really good for building cellular health. And people are having lots of amazing testimonies in using this product. Myself alone, I've been tracking my cholesterol levels and uric acid levels, and I've seen my uric acid drop from 7.3 to 0.3, and also my cholesterol has dropped considerably too. And these are indicators of how much inflammation is in the cells. So a fabulous product, great for stamina, great for energy, gets you going in the morning, and really gives you a lot of those health benefits.
It helps that it's really yummy too. And
yeah.
Interestingly enough, remember yesterday that we met, and in Taiwan, they actually did some studies as to why this Reserve, it comes in a gel. And it was shown that they use the same technology as the food given to astronauts, because when you're up in space, there is hardly any gravity, so your digestive system doesn't work the same way. As such, astronauts eat food in gels, because it mimics the body's fluids, and that's how it gets absorbed into the cells directly. And that is why Reserve is made into a gel. So when you slurp it, your body absorbs it really quickly. And I can really attest to this when I'm feeling really tired in the morning, when you've not had enough sleep. I just pop a gel and I feel really good after that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Melissa.
No worries.
Now, the last product is a really, really cutting-edge product. I think there's only 2 in the world that do this at the moment. Maybe there's more now, but the last time I did my research, I talked about Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn and her discovering Telomerase, which activates the telomere to grow the length of the telomere. Well, inside this product, which is called Finity, there is a Telomerase activator called TA65. And what this does is actually start to lengthen your cells. So lengthen those telomeres. Now, a little quick interesting story behind this, because I know it's one of the questions that you were interested in. I actually went to have a blood test in Spain last year by a company called Life Length. Life Length are a medical technology business that have invented a way of taking blood and analyzing blood to understand how old we are at the cellular level. Remember, age isn't how many years you have on your next birthday, it's how old your cells are. But not only that, it can measure how many short telomeres you have in your body. So you can actually find out exactly how old you are and how fast your cells are replicating themselves. And so I went to have this done in Spain, And I actually found out I was a little bit older than my chronological age. So I have now been on Finity every day since then and plan to retest next year to see if it's starting to change my telomere length. So very, very exciting. There's been some exciting studies. I was reading a study about a doctor who was taking a telomerase activator, and he actually reversed his aging by 10 years at the cellular level. So he was tracking his own cellular health. Very, very powerful indeed, and very, very much on the cutting edge of innovation and new science around aging. Now, I have a very short video here just to show you a little bit about that, and then we're going to end for the evening.
Nobel Prize-winning research uncovers a fundamental cause of aging. The answer cannot be seen by the human eye and is something called a telomere. Telomeres are made of repetitive DNA sequences that become the protective caps or ends of our chromosomes. Their duty is to protect our DNA. When we are born, our telomeres are long, but as time goes on, they begin to shorten. So short, in fact, that our telomeres thread, similar to the end of the shoelace, and our journey called cellular aging begins. When telomeres become too short, our cells can no longer carry out their critical functions. Cells start to self-destruct and eventually die. Scientists call this apoptosis. Cells dying is one thing, but when cells simply stop functioning, they can spew out dangerous free radicals and inflammatory molecules that essentially damage the nearby cells. So, how do we battle this process we call cellular aging? A nutrient has been shown to naturally enhance the enzyme needed to lengthen short telomeres, thereby adding healthy life to our cells. Thousands of studies show the connection between short telomeres and the natural process of cellular aging. What's more fascinating is that this is the only substance known that can perform this in the history of all mankind. Prepare for the future. Cellular aging ends here. Finity, youth enhancement technology exclusive to Ageless.
Great. So hopefully that brought together what I've been talking about tonight around the telomeres and how the aging process happens in our cells. So when we think about some of these radical technologies now that have come to market and that we have access to, we can think of it as really like a youth enhancement system, protecting the body, rejuvenating us on the outside and in terms of our looks and our skin, defending us in terms of defending our cells against free radical damage, restoring in terms of the finity, and the diminishing the lines, the wrinkles, the things that we might have on our face to make us look good, feel confident as we walk around the world. There are some other products there, but we can tell you more about them if you are interested at a later date. So just before we end, Melissa, do you want to say just something about Effortless Beauty?
Yes, we have an upcoming lunch on the 2nd of April. It's going to be very, very interesting because, as Natalie has presented here today, when we're talking about aging or we're talking about beauty, it's not just about, it's a whole lifestyle. It's not just about what you slap on your skin. It's also about the way you live your life through exercise, and it's also about the food you eat and what kind of products you use is very, very important. So we have this lunch called Effortless Beauty on the Inside Out, where we have Natalie, who will be talking about the skincare regime, how you should take care of your skin, and the products to use and how you should use the products, because trust me, even if you've got the right products, if you use them the wrong way, your skin is not going to get better. And we also have Suli, who is our wellness entrepreneur, wellness expert, who's going to talk about food. So she's going to talk about what are the best foods to eat for beauty, as well as portion sizing. Because even if you eat a lot of antioxidants, but if you overeat them, it's not going to do any good for you either. So we're going to talk about that as well. So I'm going to put in the registration link in the chat group. So you can just go ahead and register for that. The food, the cost of the ticket price is $45, but that covers just the food. We're gonna have very, very delicious food at Equilibrium, and we promise that it will be fun. So do join us if you're free on the 2nd of April. It starts at 12:30.
Okay, so if there are any questions or if you have any comments or you would even like to try some of these amazing new products, then please do email me at natalie.turner@energizelife.net, and I'd be very happy to introduce you to these products. Jeunesse Global is the fastest growing company in its industry that there's ever been. It's actually got to 1 billion in the last 6 years, and I think that is because this market for healthy aging is growing, and obviously it's riding that wave of growth, and people are concerned about their health and about their aging process and what they can do about it. So look forward to hearing from you, and thank you very much for your time this evening, and please do get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. I will be putting up this video on YouTube. You can either check it out at Swag Guide's YouTube channel, or you can look for Mel Fun. That's MELFENN. And I believe Natalie will be putting up on her YouTube page too, right?
Yep.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you once again, and hope to see you on the 2nd of April. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.